for the blue jacket. A story of simple kindness. Martin Davis waited at the downtown bus stop, same as he did every evening after his shift at the grocery store. At 58, he'd worked there for 32 years, stocking shelves, helping customers, never missing a day unless absolutely necessary. The November wind cut sharp that Tuesday evening. Martin pulled his worn blue jacket tighter, watching his breath fog in the cold air. The bus was running late again. That's when he noticed her. A woman sat on the far end of the bench, shivering violently. She wore a business suit, expensive looking but far too thin for this weather. No coat. Her arms were wrapped around herself, her face pale. Martin hesitated. People didn't always appreciate strangers approaching them, especially in the city. But watching her shake in the cold, he couldn't just stand there. He walked over slowly. "Excuse me, ma'am? Are you all right?" She looked up, startled. Her eyes were red like she'd been crying. "I'm fine." "Thank you." But she wasn't fine. Her teeth were chattering so hard she could barely get the words out. Martin didn't think twice. He shrugged off his blue jacket, the one his late wife had given him 15 years ago, patched and faded but still warm, and held it out to her. "Please, take this, you're freezing." "I couldn't possibly, I've got a sweater on underneath. I'll be fine, please." Something in his gentle insistence made her accept. She wrapped the jacket around her shoulders and relief flooded her face as the warmth surrounded her. "Thank you," she whispered. Thank you." Martin sat down a respectful distance away. After a moment he asked, "Rough day?" She laughed, but it was hollow. "You could say that." "I got mugged 3 blocks from here. Took my coat, my purse, my phone, everything." Her voice cracked. "I've been sitting here for 2 hours trying to figure out what to do." "Did you call the police?" "A kind shop owner let me use his phone. They took a report, but..." She shrugged helplessly. "I don't even have money for bus fare now. I don't know how to get home." Martin reached into his pocket and pulled out a few crumpled bills, his tip money from helping customers carry groceries. "Maybe $8 total." He held it out to her. "It's not much, but it should cover your bus fare." Her eyes filled with tears. "I can't take your money." "Sure you can. That's what it's for, helping folks when they need it." He smiled gently. "My wife used to say that kindness is the only thing that multiplies when you give it away." She took the money with shaking hands. "Your wife sounds like she was a wonderful person." "She was. I lost her 6 years ago, but I still try to live the way she taught me." He stood as his bus approached. "That's my ride. You take care of yourself, ma'am. And keep the jacket, you need it more than I do." "Wait, I don't even know your name." "Martin Davis," he called as he boarded. "But don't worry about it. Just pay it forward when you can." The bus pulled away and Martin settled into his seat, pulling his thin sweater tighter against the cold. It was fine. He'd be home in 20 minutes. The jacket had done more good with her than it would have with him. 3 weeks later, Martin was restocking the cereal aisle when his manager, Mr. Peterson, found him looking unusually flustered. "Martin, there's someone here to see you." "In my office." "Me? Is something wrong?" "Just come with me." In the manager's office stood an elegant woman in her early 50s wearing a beautiful coat. It took Martin a moment to recognize her, the woman from the bus stop. "You," he said, surprised. She smiled, and this time it reached her eyes. "Hello, Martin. I've been looking for you for 3 weeks. You're not easy to find when you don't have a last name and someone only remembers which grocery store chain you mentioned." "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't understand." "My name is Catherine Brennan. I'm the CEO of Brennan Industries. That night at the bus stop, you gave me your jacket and your last few dollars without knowing anything about me, without expecting anything in return." Martin shifted uncomfortably. Anyone would have done the same. "But they didn't," Catherine said softly. "Dozens of people walked past me that evening. You were the only one who stopped. The only one who saw me as a person who needed help, not as someone to ignore or avoid." She reached into her briefcase and pulled out his blue jacket, now cleaned and carefully folded. "I wanted to return this to you personally." Martin took it, running his fingers over the familiar fabric. "You didn't need to track me down for this. Actually, I did. Because I also wanted to offer you something." She paused. Brennan Industries has been developing a community outreach program. We want to hire someone to manage our charitable initiatives, someone who understands what it means to help people, not from a boardroom, but from lived experience, someone with real compassion. Martin stared at her. Ma'am, I stock shelves. I don't have any business degree or... You have something more valuable than a degree. You have heart. You have integrity. You have the kind of character I've spent my career trying to instill in my company. She smiled. The salary is $75,000 a year with full benefits. The position is yours if you want it. Martin sat down heavily. $75,000. He currently made $32,000. With that kind of money, he could finally fix his car properly. Maybe even take that trip to visit his daughter in Oregon that he'd been putting off for years. Why? He asked quietly. Why would you do this for me? Catherine's eyes grew misty. That night I wasn't just cold, Martin. I was broken. The mugging was frightening, but I'd been through worse. What nearly destroyed me was feeling invisible. Feeling like I didn't matter to anyone in that whole city. She sat down across from him. I'd spent the day being ruthless in business meetings, making decisions that affected thousands of jobs, being treated like I was more important than everyone else. Then in one moment someone took everything and I was just no one, powerless, scared, and person after person walked right past me like I didn't exist. Then you stopped. You didn't see a CEO or a stranger. You saw a person who was cold and scared, and you helped. You gave me the only warm thing you had and the only money in your pocket. A tear rolled down her cheek. You reminded me what actually matters. You reminded me who I want to be. Martin felt his own throat tighten. I just did what my Mary would have wanted me to do. Then let me honor Mary's memory by giving you this opportunity. Please, Martin, help me build something good. Help me teach my company what real kindness looks like. Martin thought about his wife, about the values she'd lived by, about the life they'd built on simple decency and care for others. This wasn't about the money, though. That would change his life. This was about continuing the work Mary had started in him, spreading kindness like she'd always said, watching it multiply. Okay, he said softly. I'll do it. Today, Martin Davis manages the Brennan Foundation, overseeing millions of dollars in charitable giving. But he still takes the bus sometimes, still wears his patched blue jacket, still carries tip money in his pocket for people who might need it. And Catherine Brennan? She keeps a photograph on her desk, a candid shot of Martin at a community event, helping an elderly woman carry her groceries, his blue jacket visible, that gentle smile on his face. This is what leadership looks like, she tells new executives who enter her office. Not the degrees on the wall or the awards on the shelf. This, someone who gives what they have because it's the right thing to do. We never know when a simple act of kindness will change everything. We never know who we're helping, or who might be watching, or how one moment of compassion might ripple out into the world. Martin didn't offer his jacket to get something in return. He offered it because someone was cold and he had warmth to share. That's all kindness ever needs to be. The end.